So we're just wondering what brings you here?
Well, curiosity, like I think a lot of the people that are here. The big question to me is this really a moment? Is this our Middle Eastern moment when people are rising up and saying we've got to take back our country, take back our democracy, which I don't think we have now, and stop serving the corporate agenda? Seems like money is everything that determines what our priorities are now, and money, the economy, is just a means to something else, surely. The economy by itself is nothing. We use the economy for something else. Do we want justice? Do we want greater equity? Do we want environmental protection? Those are the kinds of things that I'm interested in, and if that's part of what this movement is, it's a very exciting moment.
You see a lot of more, I guess what the media would dub radical movements here. Do you think that in all taints that that idea? That
I don't know. What I haven't seen
well,
who's all here.
For one, if you look over there, there's the V for Vendetta mask on the Queen statue. There's a lot of those things happening.
Yeah. So I have no comment. I have no idea what it even is. But what I am excited by is to see all the young people, because this is about the future for these young people that is being sacrificed for the sake of the corporate agenda right now. And I'm delighted to see people saying we're going to take that back, take this country back.
And what would you say to the young people that have come here to try and take their country back as best they can?
Well, I mean, it's their future, it's their everything, and I think they ought to be demanding of their parents and their grandparents, saying, look, you know, look at where you've brought us to. How about a bit of accounting here, and how about thinking about us and where we're going? Because we're sure not heading down a very happy road.
And in the U.S., they've kind of dubbed Wall Street as the symbolic focal point. Do you think that in Canada we can also have a focal point such as Wall Street?
Well, I guess in Toronto it would be Bay Street. I don't know where it is here in Montreal, but I think the issues are going to be the same across the country, and that is that we are now being ruled by what seems to be the corporate demand. The corporations come above the public, and this is simply intolerable. It can't go on. What are corporations for? They exist for one reason and one reason only. They may be doing things that we need that are really useful, but their only reason for existence is to make money. And the faster they make the money, the better it is. And that's just not an acceptable way to run the world. What about people? What about the future and jobs for young people? What about the opportunities for young people? Surely to God, that comes before the desire just to make money.
You know, I was speaking to the Students' Union president of the Toronto University a couple of months back, and he was explaining to me how there's a lot of corporations who are investing time and money towards building new pharmacy aisles and stuff like that, basically trying to get students to study to work in the corporations.
Well, of course, that's what universities have become. Universities see themselves as producing people that will go out and support the economy and support the corporations. Universities, which at one time were places where people could explore ideas at the cutting edge of human thought. Very radical places, very scary for society, but that's where all the excitement was. Now what do? We invite corporations in. We want corporations to be a part of what our scientists and academics are all doing. That, I think, is a huge sellout. So why should universities not think that they're producing students to go out and fulfill the corporate agenda?
Do you think that they're bringing this hyper-competitive model from the corporate world into universities and thus into student lives?
I don't know.
No?
Is that what they're doing?
Well,
what I see in my area of genetics, the minute corporations started taking over the agenda, what was a community that communicated freely and shared ideas became very secretive, because there might be an opportunity to patent these ideas. And that to me is no longer a free, open institution.
And any final thoughts?
This is a very long interview.
Okay, well, do you have any questions yet?
Is there just any suggestions that you have for the people listening, for the people watching this, for the people who are going to listen to this right now? Is there any suggestions that you have for the young people, concrete suggestions that people could do, that you could take action?
Yeah, I think that they've got to put their bodies on the line, stay with it, and demand that we need greater democracy. And one of the things about young people is they're not bothering to vote. They're not bothering to vote because they know that the agenda they hear about from all these politicians isn't about them. It's about the corporate agenda. So they've got to get back out there and reclaim democracy, and that means they've got to get their bodies out and they've got to start voting and becoming active in this process. Right now we don't have a democracy. They've got to retake that. They've got to talk about the obscene difference in the 1% of the population that are creaming up, making huge amounts of money, wanting to avoid taxes or any kind of responsibility to create jobs. Let's take back that those priorities and saying this is not acceptable.